On board Jeff Gordon up on the high side. That's not the lane that's moving.
Right now, it's like you don't want to be late for quitting time. 5 o'clock's a coming. Everybody's picking up the pace. Tempers are starting to flare. I tell you, a lot of times, I believe the reason wrecks happen in the second half of the race, mental fatigue. You just can't keep your focus that long for 3.5 hours.
Darrell, I'm glad you brought that up. That was exactly what I was wanting to ask you a minute ago. Was in 1997, you ran this race here without a caution. What's the mental state of the driver right now? You've been out there, you've been battling for 138 laps side by side, working back to front, making pit stops. Where are you at right now as a driver? Well,
you mentally are being drained because you're having to make so many decisions. This is like a computer. It's like a computer sitting there having to make so many decisions every time you ask it a question. Feedback to the crew, racing people, somebody running into you. You lose your temper. You're hot. Your arm weary. You've been fighting that steering wheel for 2 hours. Buddy, I tell you, right now is when you've got to suck it up and be the man.
And there's things in the race car you can't do that you do in a road car. If you're going to change to the right lane in a road car, you do a head check. You look over your right shoulder. You can't do that in the race car.
Most of these guys, the way they got their seats built today with these big headrests and all, they really can't see. They have no peripheral vision. So they're just making moves on instincts mostly.
You talk about that, and looking at the cars in the garage area this week, I kind of liken the seat configuration a lot of these drivers have got to blinders on mules. Honestly, they cannot see without the help of their mirror or their spotter.
Well, right now is when you got to sell that mule. Don't worry about the mule going blind. Just load the wagon and hold the line.
Boy, this is a great shot. This gives you a great view of what these race cars are doing.
Let's go to pit road and Jeannie.
Well, guys, 10 to 15 laps. That's how long the 88 crew still thinks it's going to take Dale Jarrett to go from worst to first. What we've seen him is we've been speculating. Of course, he is experimenting here, trying to test that theory to see exactly how many it will be. Most important, they're admitting in the 88 pit, hey, they haven't even begun to show their hand. The shark is circling. Dick?
Joe Nemechek's air conditioner problem has been repaired. It wasn't the air conditioner at all. The hose had fallen off his helmet, so he wasn't getting cool air. Joe fixed that himself. What he cannot fix is it appears as if he has a shock absorber going bad. Same problem Stacy Compton had. The car is bouncing all over the racetrack. Nemechek having a hard time hanging on to number 33.
Compton is back on the racetrack after making repairs. In 43rd place, and Johnny Benson has picked up a hitchhiker on his hood fin.
That could very well be a tear-off off someone's windshield.
I believe it's a white flag. I think it's a white flag. He's waving a white flag. I give up. I surrender.
It's a Subway sandwich wrapper.
Oh, that may be what it is, yeah. There's a lot of those floating around today.
We had a lot of cars just on pit road, mainly cars that was lapped down. I think Steve Park, Bill Elliott, some of these guys getting in, getting their pit stop done.
Yeah, they're getting in early, trying to be out of sync so that if a caution should fall, maybe they'll be able to catch it just right.
Marlin the leader, Rudd in second, Hamilton, Waltrip, Mark Martin, Andy Houston, the rookie, up to 6th, and 2 rookies right behind him, Kurt Busch and Ron Hornaday.
One groove, clear low, one groove.
Jeff
right on back, come on.
And rookie Kevin Harvick out of the top 10. 47 laps and at least 1 pit stop to go. It's been green flag racing all the way so far at Talladega.
She just doesn't understand me.
Yes, the official delivery company of NASCAR. We want to race the truck. People love the truck.
Welcome back to Talladega. Next week, the NASCAR Busch Series goes to Montana, California. We'll have Winston Cup qualifying there Friday on FX. It'll be on the air at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Then on Saturday, Winston Cup practice on FX at 2:30 Eastern, followed by the NASCAR Busch Series on Fox at 3:30. On Sunday, NASCAR This Morning on the net. The Napa Auto Parts 500 here on Fox at 2 p.m. Eastern, then NASCAR Victory Lane.
Go west, young man. There's gold in them air hills.
Will we have a new leader as Mark Martin tries to eke his way out front?
That was partly caused by the slow car of the Page coming out of the pits, and they all had to move around him, and that gave Mark a better line around the outside.
And how about who's pushed him? Ron Hornaday in the 14 car. It wasn't but about 15 laps ago. He was in that pack that was behind the lead pack. Here he is pushing Mark to the front of the pack.
Let me tell you who's fallen way to the back is Jeff Gordon has fallen out of sight back to 29th. You know, the driver leading the most laps here at Talladega has only won 2 of the last 9 races. Sterling's led the most laps today.
I'd hate to, other than just having a sentimental favorite like I did in the beginning, Dale Jr., I'd hate to pick a winner in this deal.
You could pick 10 cars and not be sure of a winner. Dick Berggren.
Sterling Marlin may have an overheating problem. The temperature gauge is at 240 degrees, which engine builder Tony Santana Cola told both me and his crew as well, who has told Sterling, don't worry, it'll run at 240 all day long. Trying to tell Sterling Marlin not to worry when the temperature gauge is at 240 probably isn't going to work. They are worried, even if Santana Cola is not. He's the engine builder.
Well, it's a distraction. It's another one of those things right now that you do not need. You don't need to be worried about the temperature gauge, because what you first think of as a driver is, all right, I got to get some clean air. I got to get somewhere where I can cool this engine off, and there is no clean air. So how are you going to do that?
But you know what? We do have to decide, Darrell, and I'm going to talk to my crew chief buddy down there, Jeff Hammond. We're going to have about 38 laps to go. One reason I'm wanting to put 2 tires on you, so that I can get enough dancing partner. We've talked about how long it takes these guys to dump 2 full cans of fuel in. We only need 1 can and just a little bit of a second can. Jeff, you thinking the same way I am?
I'm awful torn right now, Larry, watching these guys slide around here. But if I've got a crew like Robert Yates, I may go ahead and try to get me 4 tires, because they can just about put what's necessary in that car, and the car seems to be good enough to make its way back up there. There's going to be a lot of decision-making going on. If I've got a crew that can put 4 on, I'm going to get me 4. If I've got a crew that I'm a little guessing about, I'm going to get 2. That's the sure thing, because like you're saying, you cannot afford to lose the draft this late in the race. You never get back up through there.
Listen, guys, I got to do the hardest driving I've done all day. I'm going to have to make moves that I haven't made all day long. Don't hang me out with 2 tires. Give me the grip. Give me the control so I can go where I got to go, make the moves I got to make. Even if it means losing a spot or 2, I can get back up there if my car is handling good.
But I got to believe we're probably going to see a combination of situations. We're probably going to see teams change 4. We're probably going to see teams change 2 tires.
But, Larry, I've seen the crew weigh those gas cans after the last stop, and if you come in with 38 laps to go, can you do that adding just 1 can of fuel?
No, you're going to have to get a little bit of that second can. You're going to have to get a little bit of that second can. Not a lot, but they are going to have to plug it in and get some out of that second can.
Bobby Hamilton just got bumped right there. That was close, and you see him lose a little momentum, and the car scoots around the outside.
And consider this, Larry, one other thing, and I know we're up here and we can talk about this for a long time.
Whoa, boy, these guys are starting to beat on each other.
The more rear weight you got, the faster your car's going to be. The more fuel you pack in there and lower that back end down, the faster your car's going to be too.
Gets that spoiler out of there.
Yes, sir.
Up front, Marlin looking under Martin for the lead, and no room there. Here comes Ward Burton around the outside.
And Darrell, I hate to say this, but I agree with you this time when you talk about that fuel situation. Getting that spoiler out of the air may allow you to come down that back straightaway and make a run for the lead, whereas if you don't get it completely full, you got a little more drag put in the car. But with this new aero package, it really makes a lot of difference who your dance partner is more than anything else.
Bring it on around, buddy.
Yeah, there's just so many things to consider. I mean, and that's part of it.
Ricky Rudd just took the elevator from the top lane all the way downstairs and into the lead.
And that's the first time he's led today, isn't it? I think it's the first time he's been out front all day.
Correct.
And pit road's getting busy. Next 3 or 4 laps, we got about 12 cars on pit road.
Rudd is the 22nd leader of the race as Michael Waltrip and Mike Skinner are among those pitting. Bobby Hamilton's in. Dick Berggren.
Michael Waltrip surprisingly pits by himself rather than pitting with the 40 car with whom he has pitted all day long. It's probably going to be a 4-tire change. He is pitted far enough out for that. Yes, indeed, it will be a 4-tire change for Michael Waltrip. Winner of the Daytona 500, runs so well here all day long. This is the best shot he's had since Daytona to win a race. Waltrip now gone. 21-3 for Michael Waltrip. Not a good pit stop. A bunch of new guys on his crew today.
Mike Wallace, Ron Hornaday, Kevin Harvick pitted with him. So did Buckshot Jones and Dave Marcus. Joe Nemechek, John Andretti also in with that group.
The next group is on pit road, about another dozen cars. But this is good. Don't put no 20 or 25 cars on pit road at one time.
No, I think that's the right thing to do. You know, break them up to where you got a chance to get into your pit.
Dick?
Sterling Marlin pitted really well now. He's got the car exactly on the blocks where he needs to be. Tony Santana Cola, we were talking about him all day. The engine builder just pulled the last piece of plastic off the windshield. That's the last time Sterling's going to have an absolutely whistle-clean windshield until this race is over. There he goes. Mr. Bird, 68.6, emerging.
Dick, 4 tires for the 24 of Jeff Gordon. Slight chassis adjustment to the left rear. He's down and away 14.5 seconds.
I believe Gordon's car must have been getting loose if he put some wedge in that left rear.
Riding with Ricky Rudd, Mark Martin just behind him from the Haviland camera as they come to pit road. Robert Presley taking over the lead.
4 tires. Get it full, Norman.
Talking to Norman, coach music, the gas man. Matt?
And the 6 car, Mark Martin's in a 4-tire stop. Sean Parker putting on the rear tire. They were talking about 2, but they were too worried about getting out in front of everybody that have everybody reeling them in. The 28's down and away. Ricky Rudd's gone as the tied ride of the 32 and Rusty Wallace, 4 tires and down and away as well.
Ricky Craven and Johnny Benson also on pit road in this sequence. And Robert Presley, who was the leader, peels off for pit road. And with him is Dale Jarrett. Bobby Labonte leads this lap. Jarrett's in. Jeannie.
Well, guys, last-minute adjustment for the 88, just like the 28. They came to the wall with 2 tires, but everybody else took 4, so what the heck? Why don't you put 4 on? Put fuel in there as well. Complete fill-up. And Dale Jarrett's going to be on his way. Maybe the pit stop going a little slower than they would have liked.
16.2 for Dale Jarrett. He'll grab second gear.
Good job.
And drive the speed limit down pit road. And Bobby Labonte, the Winston Cup champ, has picked up the lead. His teammate Tony Stewart is the second-place car.
He's coming to pit road.
pits.
He's coming to pit road. Going to bring his teammate Tony Stewart in a 20 car with him as well.
I think their strategy is pretty obvious. Come in together, lead together, work together, see where we can get to before this thing ends.
Jimmy Spencer also in.
Cleaning that windshield. Got to have a clear view for these last few laps.
Windshield gets so sandblasted here at these high speeds.
Stewart away in 17 seconds. Labonte pitted much further down pit road. So it took him a lot longer to get into his pit stall.
Stop's going well. It's going to be a pretty quick one.
Oh, he stalled.
Oh. Stop. That happens so often.
And Matt Kenseth comes out with Stewart, then Labonte, then Spencer.
You kill the engine so often. Once they got real high gear in the car, but you've been riding with that left foot, not doing anything with it. So you come in, you're holding the clutch in, and your legs just kind of maybe a little bit asleep. So it doesn't always pop. You pop the clutch, kill the motor.
Because Tony Stewart wore off pit road, he got credit for leading that lap. He's going to lose it here, though. Brett Bodine in the 11 car, he's actually the leader of the race right now. But he has not pitted.
And look, here's Tony way down here. And look where Bobby is, way back here. That's the difference in their pit stops.
And Tony Stewart looks like Grandpa, the old guy in the hat in the fast lane. Come on, I got to get past you here. I'm faster than you. Till you get up to speed, at least.
He wants to try to get up there amongst them. Maybe they'll get him going quicker.
25 different leaders in this race. That's more than half the field.
And look who's in 3rd place. Look who's in 1st place, actually. You know, Burton had a pretty good run at Martinsville and is leading the race today. So that team's definitely on the right track.
Jeff Burton has now tied the all-time Talladega record for number of